Hello, this is Mrs. Ross, and this is Lesson 15. We're going to talk about equivalent fractions and reducing fractions, just part 1 of that. This is the practice set for Lesson 15, and it can be found on page 104 of your Saxon Course 2 textbook. Here we go. All right, A says form 3 equivalent fractions for 3/4 by multiplying by 5/5, 7/7, and 3/3. Now keep in mind, each one of these things is equal to 1, right? So we're really just multiplying 3/4 by 1. They're just different forms of 1. So let's go ahead by 5, and we get 15/20. 3/4 times 7/7 is 21/28. And 3/4 times 3/3 is 9/12. Now right now you might not understand why exactly we're doing this. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It's gonna make a whole lot of sense the further along we get. This is kind of like a step 1, how to convert fractions 101 kind of thing. So even though it doesn't make a whole lot of sense why we're doing this right now, believe me, it will, I promise. B, an equivalent fraction for 3/4 that has a denominator, this is the bottom number, of 16. So 3/4 equals, with a denominator of 16, so I know that that's 4 times 4, and what I do to the bottom I have to do to the top. And that's my answer. Find the number that makes two fractions equivalent. So 5 times 4 is 20, times 4, so this would be 16/20. And then 3 times 3 is 9, so this would be 9/24. E, find a fraction equivalent to 3/5 that has a denominator of 10. So this is step 1. Next, find a fraction equivalent to 1/2 with a denominator of 10. Step 2. Then subtract the second fraction from the first fraction. So we got 3 steps to go. Let's do the first one. It says it wants 3/5 with a denominator of 10. To do that, I have to multiply by 2/2, and I get 6/10. Step 2 says I need 1/2 to have a fraction of 10, so I'm going to multiply by 5, and then it says to subtract the second fraction, so 6/10 minus 5/10 is 1/10. That's a lot of steps. Easy to get lost in that one. Reduce each fraction to the lowest terms. If you guess the greatest common factor to reduce each fraction, tell if you guessed the greatest common factor and how you know it is the greatest common factor. Frankly, however you want to reduce these is fine. If you don't choose the greatest common factor, you just keep reducing until you can't reduce anymore. For example, so I know that 3 goes into 6, so I'm going to divide the top by 3 and the bottom by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Okay. Here, I'm going to try 2. They're both even, and this is one of the reasons why we did the divisibility rules, so you'll know what you can divide by both the numerator and the denominator by. So let's divide that by 2. Divide that by 2. So 8 divided by 2 is 4. 10 divided by 2 is 5. That's as far as that's going to go. H, I can divide 16 by 8, so I'm going to divide both by 8. 8 divided by 8 is 1. 16 divided by 8 is 2. Alright, so here I have 12 and 16. I know that they're both divisible by 4. They're both divisible by 2. So what happens if I choose 2 instead of 4? So let's go ahead and do that just kind of as an exercise. So divide by 2, divide by 2. And I get 12 divided by 2 is 6. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Now, I can reduce this further if I divide by 2 again. Okay? So really, if you don't divide by the greatest common factor, you're just going to end up dividing more than once, which is not bad. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 8 divided by 2 is 4. And that's my final answer, because that cannot be reduced any further. Perform each indicated operation 1, and reduce the results. So we are reducing our results. So I have 5/12 plus 5/12. And when we add fractions, we know that the denominator remains the same. We add the top numbers. So 10/12, what goes into both of those? 2 goes into both of those. So why don't we start there? 10 divided by 2 is 5. 12 divided by 2 is 6, and that's as far as that's going to get. All right, let's do O. So 3 7/10 minus 1 and 1/10. And I get 7 minus 1 is 6. 3 minus 1 is 2. So the 2 is just going to hang out. We're not going to do anything really with that. We need to reduce the 6/10. Okay, so let's divide by 2. And I get, here's the 2. I get 6 divided by 2 is 3. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And that's my final answer there. All right, P we are multiplying, so we multiply across the top and across the bottom. 5 times 2 is 10. 8 times 3 is 24. Okay, so let's divide by 2 and see if we can't reduce that. 10 divided by 2 is 5. And 24 divided by 2 is 12. And that's as far as that's going to go. All right, let's see what else we've got going on. Write each percent as a reduced fraction. Now keep in mind, percent means per what? Per 100. So here I have 90 over 100. I can cross out my zeros and get 9/10. And then there's 9 and 10 don't have common factors. Like to factors you can multiply to make 9 are 1 and 9 and 3 and 3. None of those go into 10, except for 1, and that's not going to change this. So here we have 75 over 100, and what I know is that 25 will go into both of those. So 75 divided by 25 is 3. 100 divided by 25 is 4. And I end up with 3/4 as my final answer. And then S is 5%, which is 5 per 100. Let's go ahead and divide the top and bottom by 5. That's 20. All right, let me change colors here. T, find the fraction equivalent to 2/3 has a denominator of 6. That's step 1. Subtract 1/6, this is step 2, from the fraction and reduce your answer, step 3. So another 3-step problem we've got here. So 2/3 with a denominator of 6 means I'm multiplying by 2 over 2. So that's 4/6. Step 2, this is step 1. Step 2 says 4/6 minus 1/6 equal to 3/6. Step 3 says to reduce 3/6. Well, I know that 3 can go into 3 and 6, so that's 1 over 2. Last practice problem. What is the probability? Remember, probability is what we want or a favorable event over all of the possible outcomes, okay, of rolling an even number with one roll of a 1 to 6 number cube. They aren't using the word die or dice, but that's what they mean. So let's see, all of the possibilities are here, and then here's even. So there are 3 numbers that I want, and there's a total of 6. Now they want me to reduce this, just like I did over here in step 3. So I'm going to divide by 3, and I get 1/2. All right, let me know if you have any questions about anything. Have a great day.